Hi everyone, thanks for checking out another Eagle Eye review. Today we're going to look at another icon, the Lancia Delta. And to be honest, I don't know too much about the Italian cars, so I had to look it up at Wikipedia. The Lancia Delta was introduced in the late 70s, so it's actually a car that was designed, thought about in the 70s, going into the 80s, into the 90s. So this car ran quite long, and I just wanted to know what it competed against. It would compete against a modern day 1 Series or an Audi A3, so a compact car that is quite sophisticated. Lancia being one of the most expensive Italian cars brand-wise that you could buy in those days. And we are gonna now, without further ado, go to the car that is really the icon, and that's the Lancia Delta Integrale. So here we have 6 finds here in the Netherlands, and the Integrale is just a very special car because, you know, it was, for the time being, it was just a pocket rocket, right? Italian style. We'll go over some of the details here, 88, 91. So you see around the 80s, 90, 92, 150k. And this one from 95 is crazy. It's 100,000 euro more expensive than the RS2 that we just covered, which is, I don't know why. But cars like this were caught up in many race games throughout the 90s. They competed in rally championships, and they were road-going cars. Let's just dive into this from 92 because it just looks awesome. Let's check it out. So this car is restored. It has 70k on the clock. It looks quite nice. It has these typical rims on it. Nice bucket seats. Typical Italian fashion. I mean, doesn't this look a bit like Ferrari as well? I mean, Italians and building stylish cars, it's just in their blood, right? I mean, here this looks like the turbo pressure going up to 1.2 bars, fuel, voltage. So you see this car is kind of geared towards performance driving. I'm very curious about the engine and the power output. But yeah, from a static point of view, this looks like a Golf 2, basically. No offense. No offense. Yeah, you also had the GTIs from that time, which also had a 1.6 16 valve engine. This also has a 16 valve, but I don't know if it's a 2 liter or not. Yeah, very 80s, very 80s. But look at the seats. They look gorgeous. They look like, yeah, you can also sit on them for long periods of time. They have great support, and look at the leather. I mean, the Italians, man, I'm telling you, they got something in their blood just screams fashion and aesthetics. They really live for that, and you can tell. This car is old, 92, and it, if I read it correctly, and I think this is the first generation Lancia, looks a bit different here, this one. Maybe it's the second generation, I don't know, but here it says from the late 70s until 94. I'm sure there should have been an upgrade or something. Yeah, and this one came in 93. This is definitely, yeah, so, okay. Maybe it's the facelift of this one, I don't know. But just for the sake of this video, this car was designed, thought of in the 70s. And it ran until the late 80s, so that's a long time. A 5-speed. New York? New York. Okay. But it still looks quite nice. But it's ridiculous. 115 euros for a car from 92 with a what? A 1. Just 16 valve. I think it's 2 liter. Okay, so yeah, close to 2 liter 4 cylinder, 215 horsepower for 92. That's a lot. They say the 70K matches the databases. Yeah, again, just like the 190, just like the RS2, this car, its value is just off the charts. It doesn't represent the actual value of the car, but it's just that it's such an icon. It's from such a time that, I mean, look at the interior, look at the, it's just, it's a trip down memory lane. Cars like this are not built anymore. It has all to do with nostalgia, and people always long back to the days that are behind them because they were greater for whatever reason. But you can see even how the rev, this one, it starts here at 1000 and it can rev here up until 6000 and it goes the other way. It's just because we can, just because we go against the grain. I don't know. It has something to do with the dynamics of the car, the DNA of the car, and just being Italian, I guess. But it does have its own style and character. I mean, this is not German. This is not American. This is not Japanese, Korean. This is Italian. And it's just with people that like Alfas. They also like Lancias. It's just people, a class of its own. But if you look at it, if you got the money, you love from the 80s, you love the 90s cars, this got to be part of your collection. And it's not even that it's that the power output is that crazy. I mean, more than 200 horses. Okay, that was a lot for 92, especially coming from a 4-cylinder, a 2 liter. But yeah, just something about them. Let's just go continue. This is the most expensive 95, so this is probably, let's see, how is that possible? 95. They already start building this. Okay, I don't get it no more, but does it matter? No. So it says from 95. I think this is the first generation. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know too much about Italian cars, not because I don't like them, because yeah, it was never my focus point from this channel and from my personal view, but I do remember the Lancia Delta. That's why I'm covering them here. Yeah, this screams 80s, 90s. I can really appreciate this car. I mean, just by looking at it, but the price, guys, 165 almost. That's crazy. That's really crazy. And let's see if they did something with the power output. Last one was 215. Keep that number in mind. Automatic? No, not an automatic. It must be manual. Look at the bucket seats. No better, no worse than a Golf 2, with all due respect. But I'll probably defend a lot of people that watch this video, so I'll better just keep my mouth shut. Yeah, the aesthetics and the attention to detail in a car like this is off the charts. Off the charts. Yeah. Crazy. I'm gonna use one of these pictures for a thumbnail because you don't see them like this no more. But yeah, somebody please in the comment section let me know what makes these cars so special that you pay so much money for these. I know they're icons. Don't get me wrong. Aesthetics are quite beautiful. You know, we all long for back in the days when times were different, life was better or different. I get that. I totally get that, especially when it comes to cars. It just represents a different time frame. But what makes these cars so great that they are so expensive? Is it because their driving qualities or just their aesthetics? I just don't get it. Because you see all those beautiful nails and with so much detail, and here you see just this plastic or maybe even, yeah, probably leather then, but it looks a bit cheap then. I don't get it. All right, so Wow, they have many pictures. Yeah, let's just go over them. Take our time. You don't see these cars no more, especially not for sale. And I didn't know that they still make those in 95. So they run for a long time, since the late 70s until the mid 90s. That's crazy. Ah, final edition. So probably the run out model, a special model or something, probably beefed up the engine output. Last one was more than 200. Let's see what this has. But first we go over some pictures. They changed it from a black to a red box. 16 valve. Fiat Auto. That was a different time for automotive. Blue Lagos. Yeah, probably. Yeah, looks like Italian. Looks, yeah. Original certificate. It is a beautiful car. Lancia Club Italia. '06. Cars like these are just bought by a different generation, carried on to the next generation, and then now it's for sale. And you're paying way too much probably, but you know, the thing is, when you really have money and you love a car like this, you're just gonna spend it because you will not find them no more. I don't know exactly about rust, doesn't look too good, but you know, if you drive this car in California or in southern Italy, you don't need to worry about this. But when you live in the Nordic countries like myself, it rains a lot here. In the winter, it can become cold. They put salt on the roads to keep them ice-free. I don't know what it would do to a car like this, but you would be mad if you daily drive a car like this. It's just, yeah, I can see the appeal. I just don't know if it's worth the money. But I might be very ignorant when it comes to this because I don't really know about this. I know about 190s and E30s and things like that. But this 2-liter 4-cylinder, let's go into the specifications. Let's not drag on too long with this video. Let's see. Okay, so it didn't drive much. It's a 2-liter 16 valve. It was imported. It was imported in 2022, not too long time ago. They probably since then find tools and find spare parts to make it as good as it was. Yeah, okay, around 200 horses. 220 horsepower, 5.7, so it goes. It really goes. And you have to think about 95 and even earlier 88. It's probably, yeah, this is probably just the Italian GTI, right? It's just a different approach. It's probably way more passion in it. Let's see if we can find another one. This was the most expensive here in the Netherlands. We do one more. Okay, this is also expensive. Also 95, this was 92. And this is 91, but it's not that special, but it's still kind of reasonable price. This is the cheapest one, 30K, and we go one step above, a few years younger. This is actually a car for sale in the Netherlands with a new license plate. It has a sticker, so you're able to go to Germany, to the inner cities, and drive on the Autobahn, of course. There must be some kind of appeal. I don't know if this is original. Please let me know in the comments. If you're watching this, not know how much Lancia Delta Integrale content is out there. Okay, this has been driving, but logically 91. It's an old car. All right, moving on. Yeah, this doesn't look too good. But it can probably use a deep clean. Again, this is pure nostalgia on wheels. It's probably not worth it, but maybe again, maybe I'm very ignorant. But this is also a 2-liter, and I just want to see the power output. It was imported, yeah, logically. This one has 177 horsepower, and the other one had 213 and 215. So there's even a difference in there. But this was 91 and the other one was 95, which was the special run-out model, so they tuned it a bit. It's more than 200 kilometers an hour car, which was for the time also quite special. Yeah, I think it really has to do with nostalgia. I mean, look at this. It's Italian. It's just not German. It's not Japanese. It's not American. It's just a little bit different. And we also have a whole group of people loving these cars, the same as people love British cars for them being British, just having a different kind of approach to cars. I think that's what it is. And yeah, more than 30K, it's a lot for a car this age. But you have a special car. This is you won't see them no more. Yeah, the last time I see a car like this was in Italy, and I only see one in 2 weeks. And I once saw them in the Netherlands in a showroom, just well protected behind glass and in an environment where it was warm. But I think if you daily drive these cars, I mean, they will break down. I don't know if they're built very well. I don't know too much about them. But it's just to be able to cover an icon, and that's what they are. So for that, I want to thank you for watching this video. This is actually my plan for the next year. I will still do the buying reviews of the Volvo, but I will cover icons everywhere I go because I feel like it. And I like to push a little bit more content out this year than I did last year. I hope you appreciate that. And if so, I hope you have a great weekend. See you in the next one.